Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Girl Chat
Yes, we
Sports.
are back. We are back. We are back.
It's Thursday. It's a little late, but hey, we're making it happen. Needless to say, got a week off
Right.
last week, so had to wear my Pride shirt. Thank you to you and to Andre, since
Yes.
I didn't get to take part in any Pride festivities over
Right.
this last week. But yeah, we're back.
We are. We
I'm a
are
little
back.
rested, and except for today, I'm tired because the day after vacation is always a little more than you needed. So, yeah, that's about it. How was your week? You have a good week?
Yeah, I did. I did. It was nice, little time off. Relaxed a little
Yeah,
bit.
relax a little
Went
bit.
to an Aces game. Father Day was amazing. Shout out to all the dads out
Yes,
there.
yes, I
Right,
love
good
it.
family time, and it was
Yes,
cool. It was really cool. Just so much happened going on in this
so much.
world that
Yes. I
we
mean,
are on
it
catch up
was like
mode.
the one week we took off. It was like NBA championship, NHL championship, Vegas Gold Night
Right.
parade. Aces games are happening all over crazy. There's just a lot going on. We had the draft. The first round just ended right now. That
Yeah.
started. I mean, all of these things we're going to touch upon a little bit today. But we're back. And if you're watching, thank you. Go to our YouTube, subscribe to at Girl Chat Sports, all one word, and
Yes.
check out some of the old episodes if you need to see our faces. And real quick, some things you learn when you're younger, like my mom always told me to write thank you cards. And I just want to say shout out to Erica Aviles for the little thank you
Yes.
note. I appreciate that. That's really dope. So we appreciate her and
Yeah.
the
Shout out to
consulting.
her. She's great.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
I miss
Yes.
her. I miss her tons.
Oh, well, you'll
Erica,
have
you're
to.
fabulous. I appreciate all that you've done for us. And I love that you're supporting us.
Yes, I love it
Yes.
too. And we
Hmm.
appreciate it. So, getting
Yes.
into some hot topics, a couple that are off, well, not really off sports world, but some of them I guess you could call it sports. Um, Elon Musk versus Mark uh,
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg from Facebook looking to get into a cage match. Apparently, from Dana White, they are both serious. They might be the only ones serious. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I haven't seen Mark Zuckerberg train, but I feel like Elon Musk maybe has like a weight advantage. I don't know. I don't know. It seems odd, but it's part of this whole celebrity fighting thing. And if we see it, do you care? Would you
They're
care?
just
Does anybody
bored. Like
care?
they literally have nothing else better to do.
I mean, I want to know how much money are you putting on the line? That's what I would care, because if those two are putting money on the line, like a billion or something crazy because they have the money,
Then
that
it'd
might
be
make it
fascinating.
interesting. Right. But other than that, just to watch these two CEO corporate,
They have nothing else
entrepreneurs.
better to do. Apparently not. Wealthy
Apparently
people
not.
must be bored. They're bored and getting into stupid stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of rich people that must have been bored, and we just wanted to say ahead of time that we've heard all about this submarine, this Titan, this robot, like this submersible item from Ocean Gate that's based out of Washington State. They did say that the all passengers have been announced deceased. They found some debris near the bottom of the seafloor near the Titanic that they can't really. It's just sad. But here's the deal: $250,000 a ticket. Mo, if you had $1 billion to your name, are you getting a ticket on a 72-foot submarine that can barely fit 5 or 6 people with no restroom? You get one bottle of water, one sandwich, and it's like a 9-hour trip.
Yeah,
You
I'm not
doing
about
it?
to sit crisscross applesauce in a tin can with a PlayStation controller navigating my movements, and then you're a compartment that closes that you can't even open from
That
the
you can't
inside, only
open
open
from
from
the
the
inside.
outside. And you're getting utensils and supplies to build this thing from Camp World, and you're
Stop.
you're
No,
you,
no.
it's not certifiably safe. It's not deemed that. It's just a mess. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Listen, I'm black, right? Of course, obvious. You don't see us
Obviously.
paying $250,000 to go down and see the under sunken slave ships, do you? We let that thing rock. We let it be in the Smithsonian. We let it do whatever it does. The story is there. Let them souls rest. We are good. I'm not messing with the ocean. And coincidentally, with this situation, it is very tragic, because we were all under the assumption that they were still, 90 hours of oxygen. We thought they were just
Sure.
kind of submerged down to the bottom of the ocean floor in the Titanic, stuck. Can you imagine the death of that? A slow death of sitting in the dark, taking short breaths, knowing the oxygen is gonna levels are running. Like,
Well,
I
and
couldn't
they're
even
saying that
fathom.
maybe the pressure or something got worse to where the heat got hot, and then where there was an explosion inside to where maybe that.
Which is quick.
But
That's how you'd want it if that's
I'm
the
sorry.
case.
After an hour and 40 minutes, you lose communication with the people you're supposed to be getting. You're supposed to be getting help from to know where you're going, and at that point I'm there. I think the oxygen would have been lost because people are hyperventilating, people are worried, people are stressed. I read an article today. There was the son of that of one of the million billionaires, only 19 years old, and he only went on it because it was Father's Day and he wanted to impress his dad.
Oh my gosh, that was the reason. I thought for sure his dad had coerced him in going.
I guess one of the family members said that a family member reached out and said that he was worried about it. He was not feeling like going, but he figured since it was Father's Day and he wanted to spend time with his dad. I just can't.
250,000 doesn't get you a round trip ticket. Let's just say that.
Nothing.
I mean,
I can't even.
All I can say is darned, because James Cameron spoke today, and I saw pictures of the submersive equipment and machine he used. He went down there 33 times back in the day to film Titanic. And if you saw the difference between his submersive device compared to this one, you would really be like, okay, I'm getting.
There was like a window maybe this big in the whole thing. So you're not even
wasn't even a window that you could see.
You're not even seeing anything. You're going down to say that you were near.
It's on screens. They said you would visualize, the CEO recipes said that you would see it on screens. So if that's the case, then I'm going to put you guys in a swimming pool with screens, and it looks like you're watching a Titanic.
There's no way. There is no way that that's happening. I can't.
It's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate, but it's crazy at the same time. I'm not about to subscribe to nonsense like that when you have all the money in the world and you're just that bored. And not to mention, shout out to and prayers also for those refugees who got sunk in the ocean too, as well. 74 of them drowned right before this story broke, and that's a tragedy within itself. The sea is very angry, everyone. These orcas are attacking yachts and boats in the Atlantic. There is a orca named Gladys who has taught other orcas on how to attack these boats and rip off pieces.
Wait, so Gladys held a little class for the rest of the orcas. Like, here's how,
and they're ripping off pieces off of boats. And this is in the Atlantic. And then this whole submersive submarine thing was in the Atlantic. Leave the Atlantic alone. It's just not for us right now. They're not
the ocean alone. This is their home. It's not ours.
It is.
And I learned this while I was on my trip to Maui, because we went like a cliff diving, swimming, floating in this beautiful little cove called Cliff House. And we're in there for maybe 30 minutes. Kids are jumping in. I'm floating on my floaty, like, just laying back, enjoying life. We get out, we climb back up the rocks, we're overlooking it. And next thing you know, there's probably like a 10-foot shark swimming around. It's a reef shark, supposedly non-harmless, but this is their home. We were just
sharks
borrowing.
Are coming up on shoreline, like they're really coming up closer to where we usually don't see them. So it's just different time. You got to factor in the climate, weather, the ocean current, all of those things play into. And math is so finite and never wrong. Like, math is the one thing that is always going to be accurate. It's always going to be the absolute. And if the math ain't math, and looking at this contraption, this tin can that this man had,
and let's not even talk about the guy they fired 3 years ago who had written a whole thing, article, and was suing them over it not being safe.
Mm-hmm.
No one's listening. No one's paying attention to it. And they're like, hey, let's just take it out for a spin. Let's charge people $250,000.
He said the irony of it all is just like how the Titanic went down. They had warned the captain several times that icebergs are coming. Icebergs are coming. What are you going to do? Probably don't do this voyage because the icebergs. He didn't listen. Same thing with this gentleman. Warned him. He didn't listen.
Oh
You
my
know,
goodness. Oh
it's
my
just
goodness.
unfortunate. You know, like I said, it's
It's
just unfortunate.
really unfortunate. And
Yeah. What a way to go for $250,000. I know Pharrell's collection just released in spring. I know where that 250,000 could go for me having a
I
collection.
wanted to, I saw that on the news and I was like, I wonder what Mo thinks of the collection.
You know, I'm indifferent to the collection. I'm not really
Okay.
feeling the collection right now.
No.
It's gonna
I
take me
did
some.
like the camo pieces, of course. I
Of
love
course, you like
camo.
camo, but it reminds me of Bathing Ape. That's what it looked like to me. So it wasn't
Okay.
really anything
Okay.
unique to me. People were calling
Got
it
you.
Minecraft because of big damier squares. People were saying, you know, I did see some furry shoes that I kind of liked, and I did see a bag that I liked. But
Okay.
yeah, I need to warm up to it.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen a lot of this before. The
Okay.
Letterman jackets, the crocodile bag was kind of very exquisite, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
It wasn't all that.
The hype of it was definitely a show. Shout out to the
Okay.
choir and the production of it all. He did
And
that.
all the celebrities in house, of course.
Yeah, yeah. They always look like aliens when they all congregate together. Everybody looks very odd and foreign. But yeah, I we'll see. I'm just kind of
seeing how it goes.
DH
I
Gates
forgot
is my
to-
new best friend. I'm about to tell everybody the cheat code. DH
No.
Gates. And I'm gonna leave it at
Okay.
that. I got a couple Louis bags coming from DH
What?
Gates.
I want to see them. Let me see them so I can yeah.
Because the quality is unparalleled, and all the influencers on TikTok are taking them to the actual boutiques, and they can't even authenticate them because they look so real.
See, I don't know much about that. I don't do
That's the cheat
TikTok,
code.
so I need to
Put on
see your
DH Gates.
bags.
Got me a couple
I want to
bags.
get some myself if that's the case. Hilarious.
Gates,
I forgot
go
to
on
share
there.
this one meme. Shout out to SO Sean Notes, because I saw this and I damn near spit out my coffee this morning, because if you see this, because there's a submarine emoji now, so it says if I text you this, just know
means
you lost me.
Yep. Yep. I saw that too. You lost me.
You lost me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, people are putting out all kinds of memes. My
So
trouble
many.
is deeper than the sub.
And the videos were great too. The little TikToks
yeah.
you were sending, hilarious.
I mean, the internet has no chill, and not for nothing. No one's like
none.
wishing peril on people like this. But
yeah, but here's the deal. It's kind of like if you were to get ran over by a bull during running the bulls, like you chose, like you kind of knew what you were getting into a little bit. Like you knew you had a chance of getting stompeded by a bull.
Well, they knew too. They had to sign waivers that
like you knew what was coming, but it'd be one thing if it was some lavish, extravagant, expensive first class ride down to the, like you're thinking $250,000, like that's enough to buy those around the world cruises for 6 months.
I saw people putting memes like, if you want to get in this Altima and do this whole run it and drive it through a tornado experience, it's going to cost you $25,000. Like, it's stupid stuff coming out like that.
Or the one guy that was holding his PlayStation remote that was like, I heard people are paying $250 for a Titanic tour. Let me figure this one out, because
do you know somebody left a review on that PlayStation remote on Amazon?
No.
Pretending to be the CEO. It's terrible. I lost my passengers. We got lost at sea. Like, somebody actually left an Amazon review on the.
Well, apparently their stock has plummeted as well. Yeah. So let's get into some
other billionaire stepson. He goes to the Blink-182 concert, gets into it with Cardi B, wants to chat it up.
OnlyFans. He's hanging out.
He's doing a lot.
It's like a whole thing it's like a whole rabbit hole to get into once you it was just a lot.
I wonder what Ja Rule has to say about this. I'm just curious. Because I feel like we're in a Fire Fest situation. I know
maybe he's gonna plan a Fire Titanic trip for.
I mean, this is like Fire Fest all over again, but worse. People lost their lives.
Oh God, I cannot.
People lost their lives.
Hey, let's get into some winning time right now. Let's talk a little about the Nuggets first. They won their first championship in the franchise history. So Denver finally has another winning team. So congratulations to them. We had seen some of this discussion about Jokic not wanting to even be part of the parade. He wanted to go home. He was out of there. But, once the parade comes, once you get some drinks in you, you can't really help but not. So here's him at the at the parade.
Okay. Thank you, though. You know that I told that I don't want to stay on parade, but I fucking want to stay on parade. This is the best day of my fucking life.
Yeah.
He wanted it.
He went from Winners Parade. No.
He's like, I don't care.
Parade.
Yeah, I want it. I'll stay here for good. So I'm sure by now he might, because after that they came to Vegas. They were at, I can't remember which club.
They went to Omnia. They were at they went to Omnia.
They were hopping. They also, I think,
Party.
there was a lot. So they did a lot. He might be back in Serbia now with his horses. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's definitely back in Serbia. They showed him at the horse races, what he wanted to do.
Oh, he did?
Yes, and they gave him a standing ovation at the horse race track. People were standing, clapping. He waved. He sat down, ready to watch his horses.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Thanks for tuning in.
Hey,
we appreciate
Jonathan.
you. What's up, Natalie?
Hey,
we appreciate you tuning in too, out of your busy packing schedule.
Yeah.
And then also what we got to remember though is Coach Mike Malone, because not only did he get lit during the parade, I have a small video. He also got a tattoo, which I still don't know what the tattoo is of. I know it's a championship tattoo, and I don't know who the tattoo artist was, but I really don't get it. Here's a little clip.
Mike Malone turned into Paul Wall.
And then you see the video of him just taking shots of like Fireball on stage, like they were going in. I think what it is the Nuggets. The Nuggets. What's their mascot? It's like a miner or something. I think. I feel like it was like a little miner, like a little mining
old
man.
1970s mascot look. Rendition.
I don't know. It was terrible. That if I was to get a tattoo, it would be like the trophy. It might be the years. It might be like, but yeah, that was a lot.
The New York came out of him for sure. He's from New York. I think he's from Queens or whatever. It came out like he really showed up.
When they say alcohol brings out the truth, and he really felt it.
He did. But good for them. I mean, talk about Aaron Gordon taking his shirt off the night of, doing a J.R. Smith and out in the crowd walking.
Out in the crowd.
Denver. Like
I noticed a lot of the players too
out in the streets with everybody.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the players took their shirts off too, and I was like, "Are we all just doing a little?" I mean, it was just a little bit too. I was like, "Okay, everybody's taking their shirt off now." Like, okay, I get it. It's the thing to do. But yeah, that was great for them. I mean, their city. Talk about attendance. Like, I don't know what they said. They might have said like 400. I can't remember the number.
It looked deep.
It was deep. Ridiculous. It was huge. Denver definitely shows out for their teams. They should, versus like when the Broncos might have won, when the Avalanche had won. They just pile in that square there, which is kind of unfortunate for Vegas because we don't really have that large of an area, I don't think, to pile into.
Right.
We'll talk about the Vegas Golden Knights now, because when they had their parade, it cut off. I think they had cut off at like 8,000 people. Right, but the actual T-Mobile Plaza where the ceremony was held, they actually cut off people going in there because they had reached capacity.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, which is crazy because you think there's 200,000 people here at the parade, but only a fraction of those are able to get in there.
Yeah. So total, I believe, of 140,000. Honestly, to me personally, they should have done the parade up in Summerlin by the sports complex, come all the way down Charleston.
Well, and I think because there was an Aviators game already there on Saturday.
Oh, see.
So that might have been.
And that weekend, it just hurt. It's hard. But for what it was worth, the crowd showed up and people were out there. It looked like a parade. It wasn't like looking like a
crowd showed up. The guys were in full celebratory mood. I mean, for 155 pounds of this thing, weighs, these guys were flinging it around like it was 5 pounds. So these are some of the shots that were taken during the ceremony at the T-Mobile Arena inside Toshiba Plaza. amazing energy, amazing. And of course, this is Vegas's second championship within 12 months. The first, of course, going to our Las Vegas Aces. We're definitely going to talk about the Aces in a little bit too, because they could be on their way to another one as well. We might have more championship parades here in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jack Eichel took his shirt off, was with the people as well. He had a lot to say.
Well, William Karlsson fell off the stage, like fell off a step when he first. These guys were they were drinking. Like they are now sponsored by 50 Cent champagne. They had Bud Lights, they had Bud Light seltzers, they had everything in their hands. I want to play some of the William Karlsson video. I'm going to skip through parts because it was the beginning, first few minutes or a few handful of seconds, and the end that was really interesting to me. So here's Wild Bill really living up to his name.
Guy. This effing guy. Yeah, I know. So, he was here day one. Yeah. And I know you have been here day fucking one. You guys are so amazing. We played Arizona in the first game, and we beat the shit out of them. And I had no points. But that's okay. Because at year one, I was pretty fucking great.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop. He keeps going. Then you see the PR lady, I'm guessing, or someone back here. Her job now is to try and get it off stage.
We've been waiting.
She was a buzzkill.
For 6 long
buzzkill.
years for this guy to be MVP.
To where she just yanks him off the stage, and I'm like, dang, buzzkill, dang, like, this is their one moment to just enjoy as much as they want, and you got to give these guys a time frame. Like, I think even after the parade ended, the guys stayed there on stage for many minutes, if not a half hour after the actual show.
They've got a curfew. She was on a time constraint.
She was done.
Well, they do. They have a noise ordinance. They got a curfew. I mean, you gotta. No one's trying to get fined, but at the same time, just let him get through his thing. But he was gonna be a rambling drunk longer and longer. So.
Oh yeah, it was gonna go on for a while, but it was
fun.
fun.
The mic off or do something. I would have never pulled it, but I probably would have turned the mic off.
Yeah, well, and then you think about him and March here, the guys that have been there since day one, like they deserve this just as much as if not more than everybody that's been there dealing with this. So it's great. What's up, Arlington? Thanks for checking in. We appreciate you. So yeah, the Golden Knights. I'm not gonna lie, I had to watch it. I watched it from the beach. I can't complain. Like if I wasn't to be at the parade or seeing it from the strip, I did get to watch it on my phone. However, we only got to watch it from the NHL network because I can't get local broadcast there, of course. And NHL decided to pick up ABC Channel 13's broadcast here, which was terrible. The audio was terrible. They were like, when they sang "We Are the Champions," they actually took the music off and played a different song. It was horrific. And when Aiden Hill came out with Larry Johnson's UNLV jersey on, the two women that were announcing they just mentioned a UNLV player from the championship. They didn't know they didn't even say whose jersey it was with the significance. I mean, it was just
yeah.
It was terrible.
Well,
I wish I could have been home or been able to stream like the News 3 version or the Fox 5 version. I feel like we love our sports people on those channels. And I feel like I don't even know if the sports people on 13 were doing the show. It's so odd.
I don't know. I was there, but I was watching it from a view of the restaurant balcony.
Yes.
So I had great view of that. I also watched Wins live because they went to Encore Beach Club with Lord Stanley. walking through the
Yes.
casino. It looked like Stanley was on tilt too. Like they had vented or something.
He had a long night.
So each player gets Lord Stanley for a day.
Wow. Okay.
So that's how it works. I thought they'd get it for a week, but they get it for a day.
So how do they get it to and from each person? So that's what the guy that there's one guy. I remember Brian Salmon had done an interview with the guy who's the overseer of Lord Stanley, and so I'm guessing he must fly that thing everywhere for that each person having their day
from wherever they go. I know for a fact that Shea Theodore wants to take it to Canada for a day and come back.
Right.
So then they have to pick it up from him and give it to somebody else.
Wow. So you have to get it here, and then you can travel with it for a day, but it has to come back here.
It's only one day. You just got to do it in a day. Wow. So check out their Instagrams. I will start following them because you're going to see pictures of them posted with Lord Stanley doing crazy stuff. If they haven't already.
It's going down. It's going.
That'd be cute.
And big shout out to the artists that had drawn up this whole wall mural for the champion. Once they won the championship, up until the parade, 7 artists, which Mark Stone posed with on the left there, made this
mural.
This mural
in the art district.
It's unbelievable. Perfect. So we definitely need to get some pictures with this mural.
I think more murals will come up too. I think there'll be murals around the town, around the city. I think there'll be murals in Summerlin by the practice facility. I just think we'll have murals like how the Lakers have murals. Just because this is like a huge deal, you know.
It's huge. It's very huge. The Lakers, the Knights also had their event Coat the Fortress. So season ticket members, of course, every year get to go down on the ice and paint sayings and their names and well wishes. And of course, this year was extra special because we did win the championship. So that's pretty cool to see. It's always cool to see the ice all decked out at the end of the season. And they've already announced the preseason schedule for the season.
I said, boy, they waste no time.
No time. Literally, we're in September, June, July, August. We're 3 months away from preseason.
Right.
And that's where it's at. So get ready because it's going to be an interesting one next season for sure, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What a series, too, for that. Like, it was just amazing. I think
what
Florida
a series.
Yeah.
I was hoping for game 7 so I could make it back in time for a parade, but I'll take, of course, I want the championship period, but it was a great series.
Shout out to people that were there for the night of the Stanley Cup win. That were down in Toshiba Plaza. But
I know Sarah was there at the game.
I saw that crowd and was like, no, thank you. But from afar, we just celebrate because they're a born and raised team. They're only 6 years old. And
absolutely.
It's great,
And in both, not only the news coverage, but during the ceremony, they did a lot of speaking to the 1 October shooting and the victims of that, dedicating and saying their names, because we basically, the community in Vegas came together after that shooting because we had our new hockey team within days of that shooting and that terrible catastrophe that made us all one whole community.
Yeah, and it was crazy how they huddled together, and it was in the form of a heart, kind of similar to the Vegas Strong, that they did that. So that looked really dope. It was kind of like divine, that it came to forming that with them huddled like that.
It really was. It was great. So since we have been off for a while, there was so many Jugadores. I couldn't even include them all in this one. But there's been a lot of going on, ons.
It's crazy.
First of all, we talked about Ja Morant off and on. He got the 25-game suspension. I'm not sure your thoughts on the amount of time, but he is set to lose a big hefty $7.6 million for this 25 games.
That's a light sentence.
It's light, and it's light if he doesn't do nothing to change. Because
he's got to hit rock bottom to change. He really does, and I don't think. And
is that rock bottom?
No. Gilbert Arenas got 80 something, like only I think he only had a remainder of 25 games on his gun situation.
I thought they had a season. Didn't they get a season?
He got like maybe 17 games left in the season to play. He pretty much got like 80 to 90% of his games taken away. And I feel like that's the stiff, even though the whole circumstances are different. Gilbert's was more on a criminal element of it. Still, they explain the 25 and all of that, but to me, that's light.
It's light considering it's not just your first offense. Like you've been told twice, if not 3 times, to knock it off. You've already You already went to counseling. You've already he said the same thing after every time he's gotten in trouble. So what's
And
different?
that Jalen Rose interview was terrible. It was terrible, scripted, terrible. So he's not. As long as he has the same circle around him and the enablers and the handlers that enable him, it's going to be another thing.
Yeah, it's time to at least change
he's still
that up
in
a little
for
bit.
Playoff contention. He's still chances. I mean, 25 games, really.
Who knows? The NFL also updated their stance on gambling because we've had so many issues regarding players and gambling. So the key rules are don't bet on the NFL, which I think would be common sense, but clearly it's not. Don't gamble on your team or don't gamble at your team facility while traveling for a road game or staying in a team hotel. Don't have someone bet for you. Don't share team insider information. Don't enter a sports book during the NFL playing season, and don't play daily fantasy football.
Yeah, the fantasy football I was kind of like shocked about. I was like, really?
Well, the daily one I can kind of understand because you're basically making bets and money just like you would on a regular game, but you're betting on a certain player just for that one game or that one play, the 1 week. So
I mean, forget that Caesar's Entertainment,
but not walking into a sports book. Like here's the deal: players always come to Vegas on their off week, on their bye week. So now you're in a casino. You have to divert yourself so that you don't walk by a sports book.
I mean, it's just stupid because the thing of it is you're sponsored by DraftKings, Caesars Gambling, all MGM bets.
All we see is Caesars, MGM out here.
Honestly, just get rid of all that as sponsorships. I know that's huge, and I know it's dollars, but that just doesn't make any sense, especially if you have people that are probably addicted to gambling. They didn't. Not one time did they mention anything about that. They did talk about they were going to give them a class, talk about the day. Like some of these people are in an addiction of gambling. So what do you do with those players?
They have addiction, period. Whether it be OnlyFans models, Instagram models, the porn stars, the strippers.
Yeah, but there's no policy about that. There's policy about this gambling thing, and it's just
that could be next. You never know. You get any more of these Mariah? What's her name's coming out?
Mariah Mills.
She got banned from Twitter. She got her little.
Well, she was doing too much too. That's why she got banned. We were tired of it. You got to understand.
She was trying to do too much.
Well, Twitter news and gossip only last 2 days. Once the 2 days is done, we're over it. Like we don't want to hear anymore else about it. You said everything.
And the way she was dragging it was just like, come on. Like, guess what? He didn't pick you. That's all it is. That's what it is. He didn't pick you.
Yeah, you didn't do the right thing with the sex tapes. You released that on Twitter instead of going to your source of income like Pornhub or Brazzers or wherever you go.
Right. Put that on your OnlyFans and charge people to see it.
With the consent of Zion, or get a Zion lookalike something. You didn't do anything to parlay that. You wanted to put it on Twitter, and that's essentially what got
do a reenactment.
Yeah, that's what I said. Get a lookalike. Get a Zion lookalike. Right. Do the act. You know what I mean? They do that. So.
Oh man,
we were tired of it though.
Very tired of it. West Virginia basketball coach Bob Huggins resigned after his arrest last Friday in Pittsburgh on a DUI charge. His blood alcohol level was a 0.21, which is more than twice the limit, almost 3 times the limit, actually. His SUV was blocking traffic with a flat and shredded tire. Police trying to have him move it, and he basically couldn't drive straight and was, unable to pass a field sobriety test. But this comes just 6 weeks after he was in trouble for the anti-gay slur on Cincinnati radio station. So he was already under the hot seat at West Virginia, and this just topples it up on top. He also had a DUI conviction back in 2004. So I think he knew what was coming and decided to be gone.
It's all for the best. Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios. Yes.
It's all for the best.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to step up and do the right thing.
Sometimes you just got to do it, and you got to bite it and just let it go. This tweet maybe came back to haunt him a little bit. So where am I at? Is this coming on?
Oh, that's about Ja Morant with Jack Jones.
Yeah. Why isn't it? Yeah. There we go.
He gonna tweet about Ja Morant and his stuff, and then he just does some dumb stuff. Why are these guys not?
Yeah. Jack Jones, the cornerback for the Patriots, arrested. He had 2 loaded firearms in his carry-on, of course, saying, "Oh, I didn't want to take firearms onto a plane. I wasn't trying to." How do you not know you got 2 loaded guns in your carry-on?
He knows.
How do you not
that
know?
was a stupid, ignorant cop out because he was shook and didn't know what to say. That's like somebody.
Now, granted, this wasn't the same as flashing guns on your IG. However, he had mentioned about John Morand, being dumb and on social media, and then this happens, and it's like,
well, he's
come
dumb.
on, guy.
He's dumb. Why wouldn't you unload the clip and pack it in your bag and check it?
I never understand these guys that have guns going onto a plane. Like, you didn't realize to check. I mean, even if you want to bring it, you can't check it.
Yeah, like no say, I didn't know. You knew. You
I had no idea.
He had no explanation.
It just slipped in there. I don't know how it got there.
Come
I don't know how the clip is in there. I don't know how there's extra ammunition. Like, stop.
Blue cap for all of that, because that means he lies to his girlfriend too and comes up with cockamamie stories. And this is another cockamamie example that just does not fly. You're just not that smart, sir. Just say, you know what? My bad.
Just blame it on CTE. Just say CTE and we'll understand.
Take the L. It makes it worse when you come up with a dumb excuse like I didn't know. Like that makes you want to slap somebody. Like you knew. Just take the L, sir. Just take the L.
Take the L.
I tried it.
Yes.
My bad.
Let's talk about our 8.
Whatever. Take the L, bro.
We're gonna move on to our aces, who are 11-1, pushing through the gates. They've won every Commissioner's Cup game, I believe. That's the season.
About it, they sure did. Got 4 more to go.
Yes.
Get that.
And what I'm loving, so on yesterday, actually Wednesday, they were in Arizona for their game against the Phoenix Suns. It was the first time the team's been able to see Brittany Griner. So here's some of their reactions with her.
Yeah, that's great.
It was great. It was funny when you saw some of the stills that the Aces had posted. Like, you can see Jackie was like, yeah, good. Okay, I'm glad you're here, but it's time for a game. Like, Jackie was all business. Her eyes were looking the other way. She barely cracked a smile, which she usually does anyways.
About business a lot lately. I don't know what's going on with that girl, but when
listen, Jackie is
Sunday, she yelled at Becky about getting back into the game. Lady, you guys are up 20 points and you're fussing at Becky and going in on her, talking about you need to put me back in the game.
Jackie is on it.
She has been all about business lately.
Listen, she is tied with Enrique Agumbawale for the league in most games with 20 points this season.
That's why she's on it. That's why she's about this. That's why, because she's chasing stats. I knew
on it. She is on it. Hey, what's up, Jay Calhoun? We appreciate you. Hope all's been well. We ain't seen you in a minute.
I think he's a soon-to-be dad or
related. Yeah. We also between on Sunday there was definitely some fans cheering on the Aces back home. You had Shaq come in, which I'm sorry the picture's terrible because you can't really see him, but you had Shaq there visiting Candace, who of course they do Inside the NBA with together. Mr. and Mrs. Plum Waller were there having a little post-game smooch. So I heard Money Mayweather was in the house on Sunday.
He was on Sunday.
Yeah. Make sure you keep up with. On the left here is the Playa Society. So I have one of the Playa Society's shirts from the championship, but this is their new shirt for the Aces. This is the item of the game that's going to be on sale on Saturday's game at 6:00 at Michelob Ultra, and then Monday is the Chelsea bobblehead night on the 26th. When
they play the Fever, that's going to be a good one.
Yes. Do I have my dates right? It's either Sunday or Monday. They play the Fever.
The game is Sunday.
They have 2 games, Saturday, Sunday, and I think maybe it's Tuesday. Let me look at the calendar again.
No, I thought it was Sunday, Monday or something, or Saturday, Monday. There's definitely a Monday game because my brother mentioned he couldn't go.
So Aces play Saturday the 24th. That's when that T-shirt is the item of the game.
Right.
They then play on Monday the 26th, which is the bobblehead night.
Right.
And then they play Thursday against the Liberty.
Okay. But I know they got
Saturday,
the Indiana Fever game
Monday,
on Monday.
Thursday.
That's the game.
Yeah.
We got the number 1 draft pick we want to see on that one. They play back to back. So there's a Saturday game against the Fever and a Monday game against the Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't make the Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Make the Monday. Get that bobblehead.
The Monday at 7. It's perfect for the after work.
Indeed. Another one of our teams out here, the Las Vegas Lights FC, they have the Knights Night at the Lights. So there's going to be hockey-inspired jerseys on sale. So $99 gets you a jersey, which obviously is the Gold Knights colors. You also get a reserve sideline ticket, or you can get a jersey just for $80. This is for next Saturday's match on July 1st. There'll be fireworks as well as fireworks on their 4th of July game too. So may have to get out there. It just gets so hot sometimes in the summertime.
It does, but I kind of want.
I need the crickets to die down
because I didn't get one last time, and I feel
like I know.
The Knights one.
I kind of like the last ones better though.
Yeah, the last one was dope. That's the one.
Last one was pretty fire.
And not for nothing, Darren Waller is not only in town to see wifey, he's also here to make his commitment to the community, like he said. He's got an event coming up. I believe it's this weekend. So he's in town for his foundation and another pet project he has.
Out for the Giants too.
And that's why he is out here
too.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out Sports for You. Thank you for checking in. Make sure you check out their podcast as well. They always have it posted in our group. Sure Arlington, we ain't talking about the Vegas Vipers. XFL been done. We'll talk about them next season, but if they don't figure out
we don't. We can make that a quick answer. We don't. It was a terrible season. They had a terrible venue that they played in.
Terrible venue. And the fact they got to stay there another year is ridiculous. Like, until they can figure out Cashman, we're not doing it.
No,
he said XFL in general. XFL. I mean, I watched it.
It was great.
I watched it for sure. I enjoyed seeing those stadiums that people got to play in. Like, there should be stadiums that they're playing in, not minor league ballpark that turned soccer field that turned XFL field, which is ridiculous. So
no, it was a great, exciting season, even postseason when they had all of their different little championship rounds and all of that. It was great. Like, it was exciting. Just too bad we
Operation Sunday Ticket isn't over, but I did find out that you can log into 2 things at once. So now I just need somebody to like split it with me. Let me split that cost with you, because you can be able to log in from 2 different, whether it be phones, tablets.
Somebody else split it with you.
Smart TVs.
I'm not interested, but somebody else split it in with you.
Yeah, or it is what it is. I'm just have to go hang out at the Seahawks bar again this year, which I didn't go to all last year because I was too lazy and sat at my house. So maybe it gives me the opportunity to get up off my butt and make it to the bar.
Where's y'all bar at?
Scooters down on Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Seahawks bar. Shout out to Scooters. Hope I'll make it by there one day. Also in Vegas news, we got to talk about these arenas / stadiums. New this week was that they're the people that brought you the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle for the Kraken as well as the Storm, the Oakview Group. They have a vision they announced for a $10 billion campus that would be off of I-15 and 215 if you're familiar with Las Vegas, kind of the town square, outside of the town square area. So you're looking 215, I-15 area, a little outside the airport. It would have no public funding. There would be a 20,000 seat arena with a resort and casino, which I think is pretty major. Of course, they are hoping that they can break ground sometime in 2024 and want to do it before a league expansion for the NBA to Las Vegas is announced. And again, no public money. And the reason why the no public money is so important is because, Governor Lombardo has passed the bill that would allow and make room for $380 million of public funding, a package that would help the the stadium for the Oakland A's here in Las Vegas, the Tropicana site. So now it's just basically up to the Oakland A's. They've got to apply for a relocation from Major League Baseball and get that approved. Can you believe it? Major League Baseball, NBA could be all on the way in just a few short years.
I wonder if Jordan is going to be the one that buys the expansion team.
Stop.
He sold the
the Hornets. Yeah.
And made a ton of money. And I just wonder if he's going to flip that and buy an expansion team for Vegas. He has the money to do it.
And he likes to gamble. Owner. So he's with this, and all the golf courses that are out here in Las Vegas. I mean, that's got to be a plus for him too.
I just wonder. I'm just curious.
Listen, if it's a Jordan-owned team, I might just have to root for him.
I mean, I root for them because they're Vegas, but when they play and they're an AL team, so I can have an AL team. This is when the Dodgers come to town.
You mean a Western Conference? You're talking about basketball or baseball?
No, I'm talking about baseball. Like you're talking about the basketball team?
Well, you said Jordan, so I'm
Jordan,
assuming you meant.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
I lost my page.
You.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I would definitely root for the NBA team here. However, if they brought a Vegas team and a Seattle team back the same year, obviously I'm going back with the Sonics, but I'd still cheer for the Vegas team.
I mean, you'd have to. I mean, I'm going to be a Laker fan all the way through, but I'll cheer for my Vegas team.
Of course.
Because then there'll be a born and raised team. It's kind of like the Knights. I used to be a Kings fan, and now the Knights.
Right.
So it's like you kind of just move away.
Exactly. We had the draft on tonight, and a couple amazing things. Of course, we know Wemby went first to the Spurs. Listen, San Antonio had a whole watch party at their arena. Could you imagine if Wemby had... Okay, he was definitely getting chosen first, but could you imagine had he not been chosen first and there's a whole arena full of people waiting to have your name called? There was people in the stands that had Wemby jackets and Spurs paraphernalia, memorabilia on. I'm just like,
well, can you imagine how fans reacted when Scoot Henderson did not go to the Charlotte Hornets and the whole bar in Charlotte went crazy because it wasn't Scoot Henderson, it was somebody else?
Well, the bar in Charlotte went crazy because it was Brandon Miller, who had just dissed Michael Jordan as not being the GOAT, nor LeBron, and thought Paul George was the GOAT.
Right.
Stop. But I did want to say congratulations to Mrs. Thompson right here. She's the mother of the twins, Amen and Asar Thompson, who were drafted back to back in the draft, 4 and 5. That is insane. That's crazy. Like that has to be every mother's dream. To have twin boys. Well, it was mine anyway. Twin boys, have them both drafted
back like that, but they're both
in the first round. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
that's. Speaking of Scoot, I was getting very Southern high school prom vibes from his attire. I don't know what you thought. I know you're the stylist here, not myself. I know that he was talking about the gemstones or like birthstones of his family, which was great. He had a grill on that he could barely talk through when he was doing this interview. And I don't know. It was the outfit. There was a lot of guys suited very nice at this draft. I was very impressed by some of the looks the guys had. I just wasn't very fond of that one. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't have a comment. Except that Dorothy one with the red sequins. What was that? I still wasn't.
That was the guy from
I know Canada. Who he was, but I just wasn't into it. Like
it was like the ruby red slippers. It was.
Yeah, he needed the ruby reds with it. Maybe that would have been the nice ideal thing to have with it. I don't know.
Shout out to my girl Sandy Rose.
Hey Sandy, gosh, we couldn't guess we normally don't switch to Thursdays.
I know. I know, right? People have more
people that I haven't seen or heard from, and like I know those names.
It's like I see these people. Hey,
yeah.
Also, thanks for sending this one to me because we're not. This is going to be the first of many gifs or memes or videos that discuss Bradley Dick. He's from Kansas. He was drafted number 13 by the Rockets. But of course, this one that you sent me was hilarious. Fat Joe, I guess, was with Stephen A. Smith and part of his draft show, and this is what we got.
Tell you I like Dick from Kansas. Brady Dick. But I tell you I like Dick from Kansas. Brady.
It's Pride. It's Pride Month.
I mean, I want to go to Kansas now. Like, isn't that good, Fat Joe? I don't know.
Pride Month. He said, "I'm just gonna kill two birds."
Like, why not?
That are my pride
Why not?
people and
A couple last things for the NBA.
it's good in Kansas.
CP3 headed to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, that's some bull.
You know, I don't mind him with the Warriors. I mind that they gave up so much for him. You gave up a young talent, a first round pick, granted in like 6 or 7 years, and then a second round pick in a few years. But can we just talk about the Wizards, how they're cleaning up? The Wizards, just from the Bradley Beal trade, got 10 draft picks from the Suns. So if you add them 10 with the 2 from here from the Golden State, that's 12 draft picks over the course of the next, between now and 2030.
Yeah, that's insane. But I would have gone for Kristaps Porzingis. Yes, Jordan Poole could have gone. I'm not tripping off of Jordan Poole leaving. I would have gone off of Kristaps Porzingis. I feel like with Chris Paul, I would have never have done that trade. But relief, because he was announcing he wanted to go to LA and everything, and the Clippers were going to shop him. And then, if he came to the Lakers, I just probably would be done after that.
You'd be over it.
But I don't. It's BS. It's stupid.
But Porzingis is going to Boston. I said, but Porzingis is going to Boston.
Yeah,
and then you got Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies.
Porzingis to go to Golden State. I feel like that made more sense. Like I would have definitely tried to get him to come on that side, than go to Boston.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know.
Chris Paul's on the other side. I don't know when people will realize that it is his time.
It's
his time. But he's injury prone. He comes off the bench ever so often with assists.
And God forbid him and Steph get injured at the same time, or
I don't even want that kind of jinx. That's why I'm thinking it's just time. Like, when do we say, enough's enough until we get a ring? You'll never get a ring with the annex that you're pulling and you're trying too hard and you're being thirsty. Just as it for you. You had an opportunity with the Candyland Clippers back in the day and you didn't do that. So here we are. It's another side, Chris Paul. Everybody said, "Ooh, stop it!" I need people to get excited. You get excited about old heads that, honestly, to me, are has-beens. And I'm not saying that he's washed up or whatever, but he's got only so many shopping days left till Christmas. It's not the same.
So many shopping days. His expiration date is coming up, and just don't let him spoil in the back of your fridge. So
it's spoiled milk. You basically got spoiled milk. It's bad.
Oh man. Big congratulations to Brianna Stewart. The Liberty had started off a little rocky that first preseason in the first game, but these guys are coming out. Brianna is the first player in WNBA history to have at least 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 40 assists in just 10 games. 10 games.
She's a real deal.
She's bringing up those stats.
She's a real deal.
That's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists every game.
Yeah.
Gold Mamba, Jewel Lloyd in Seattle Storm hit her career high 39 points versus Dallas on Saturday. Good. And then I forgot to add the video, but our girl, Arike Ogunbowale, she got ejected. I don't know how did she get ejected off the bench? Do you know?
I remember reading that story, and it was something
it was her second tech.
Yeah, I think she did something like it seemed very petty and stupid. I don't know if she had mimed something or said something kind of slick, and it just kind of got her. I don't know. So
she got ejected. She was signing autographs on the way out. She had the crowd pumped. But they had 10 total technicals in that game, which is like the first in WNBA history. 10 technicals in one game.
Well, it's getting scrappy in the WNBA.
Were a little
whistle happy. I mean, they've taken notes out of Diana Taurasi's playbook, who can be scrappy all she wants to and doesn't get any kind of tech or anything. So it's very interesting how that works. But
at all,
I'm just saying.
At all. Baseball is gonna tip the hat to Mr. Willie Mays next year, which is dope. So they're going to celebrate the Negro Leagues next year around Juneteenth. They're going to be having our guy, the Giants will be the Giants will be playing the Cardinals there in Birmingham, Alabama at Rickwood Field, which is the oldest pro ballpark in the U.S. and a National Historic Site. Was built in 1910. And Willie, who is from Alabama, was actually part of the team there in 1948. So this is going to be dope. Willie was happy to hear about it. He's excited about it. Yeah.
Willie's still
so
kicking.
that would be one thing. That would be a dope thing to get to, is to see that game. And Gabe is there.
Gabe, our babe. I'm noticing he's picking up traction on followers, and I got mutual friends now that are following him, and I'm looking.
Oh, really? Maybe it's because they're watching our show and seeing our obsession with him.
Now you want to follow him too? Like, no.
In case you're watching the show now and you're unfamiliar with what we're talking about, Gabe Kessler,
or who we're talking
GM
about,
for the Giants. Yeah. Hello.
The manager.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And he can cook too.
Cook, hand tats, got a beautiful.
And he dresses well. Got them dark rim glasses.
Well.
See, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
With you talking about Gabe.
Oh.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Last, hey, I don't know what's going on with Deion Sanders, but he's got to go have surgery, emergency surgery tomorrow for a blood clot and is growing. There was also rumors that he might have to have his foot amputated after he already had the 2 toes removed because of circulation issues and blood clots developed from his previous surgery. So he says that there's been no talk about amputation, but he is having to go in for surgery tomorrow. So
God, I hope not. That's awful.
That's awful. I mean, can you imagine just not having 2 toes already? Listen. That's balance issues
toes,
right
but losing
there.
A whole foot is just a whole nother level.
A whole other level.
That's
completely.
A whole other realm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And also make sure, I think the WNBA All-Star voting has ended, but I know that Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart were the top getters. Of course, you also, and that's going to be here in Las Vegas. Yeah. The 14th is the skills competition on Friday at Michelob Ultra. The All-Star game is Saturday at Michelob Ultra. So make sure you tune in for that. That's in July. And then also in July, right before that on the Tuesday, which I think is the 12th or the 11th, the All-Star Major League Baseball All-Star game is in Seattle. So they're finalizing their All-Star ballots. Yeah. It's a lot going on. I really wanted to get back home for this. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
For the WNBA too, they've already got the SB voting for the women on the Aces team. They've got Candace Parker nominated as Best Player of the Year. Asia Wilson is on the ballot as well. The team, the Aces, is on the ballot for Best Team in the league.
Wait, so Candace Parker for the Best Player of the Year?
Started their voting. So go on the SBs/vote and you can vote on who gets an SB.
Candace Parker for the Best Player of the Year of this year?
The Best Player, Best Player. For WNBA.
I mean, she's definitely hit some milestones. Like she got
37 years old. She's definitely OG. Hopefully she retires out after this Aces championship win, but she's definitely OG into the league. And if that's the nomination, I mean, they've got other noms, but just for the Aces
there should be like a,
her.
Player of the Decade but can you give her Player of the Year this year?
I wouldn't give her Player of the Year because I ain't seen no year looking work, but I will say greatest player. Yeah, I guess if that's what you want to put in around for WNBA, why not?
Okay.
I ain't going to be no hater to it.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just, if there's other people that have had a phenomenal year, like
Sue Bird could be a nom. I'm just looking at the noms for Aces. So
Sue Bird can't be a nom. Not for this. Are we talking about this year?
I don't know if it's this year. It's just greatest player ever is the category. So
got you. Maybe it's like greatest WNBA player.
It could be some other people. Okay. I'm just saying for Aces, that's what they posted.
Got
so you can go on the SB's website and see if there's other noms.
The minor clarification. We'll have to look into that. We'll talk about that next week and see what that is. Yeah. Okay. Last but not least, the special girl power to these two. Well, especially one. So the Sacramento Kings G League affiliate, they made history by basically having the first 2 women to lead an affiliate team in the G League history. You've got on the left, Lindsay Harding. She had spent about 4 seasons as an assistant player development coach with the Kings and 76ers staff. She played 9 seasons in the WNBA. And then you have Anjali. So she's the daughter of the Kings owner, Vivek Randavi.
Oh, okay.
And she was the Stockton Kings assistant general manager last season. So this year she is the general manager. And then you've got Lindsey Harding as the head coach. So for the Stockton Kings. So big ups to the Sacramento Kings and Stockton Kings for their women-led team.
Nice.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, so Candace Parker's being nominated for Best WNBA Player. So like I said, that could be Sue Bird, that could be
right.
anybody.
I can get that. I get that. Okay. But I thought you meant like the best player of the year, and I was like,
no, I didn't even say year. Best WNBA player, hands down.
Okay.
So Sue Bird's probably in that nom hat. It's just that
of course
they only posted that.
Yeah, Sylvia Foles might be in there.
WNBA team. So it could be Liberty. It could be, there's other people. I just need everybody to go out and vote for our home team.
Definitely. Absolutely. Because the home team is the best team.
And then Asia Wilson's nominated for Best Athlete Women's Sports, Best WNBA Player as well.
I think that's easy. Asia, she must have like a trophy room by now because this girl be racking in the awards and accolades.
Do you notice that since they won a championship, they've all dressed better now?
Oh, they got stylists
better.
Now. They got stylists.
Listen,
they got good.
Minus the True Religion look, I didn't like that, but everything else they're getting good. They're just looking a lot better. Like,
I mean, I feel like Chelsea always had a good look, and I feel like, Kelsey now has what's her name? Danny Garcia's clothing line that she does with. So I feel like that's worked on her style. But Kayla George, I like her style, the way she comes through.
I like
sometimes.
It too.
It's very relaxed.
Better. I don't know.
They all look great.
Maybe the championship. It's just they all dressing better, looking better.
Yeah, I don't know.
And for the first time in watching the Aces game on Sunday, Becky Hammond did not have a black blazer and hoodie on.
What did she have?
She had a blazer on, but it wasn't black.
Oh. No
she
hoodie
never
either.
Wears colored blazers.
Did the whole coaching staff have the same blazer?
No, she was the only one. They all had black blazers and hoodies on. She stood out wearing like a maroon type blazer with.
I wonder if she forgot it, like it was in the dry cleaners.
I don't know, but she did not have a black blazer on.
Interesting.
That was the first. I was like,
and not to mention, our ladies are averaging like 93 to 98 points a game. Like they have the highest point percentage in like all the WNBA.
It's ridiculous.
And even though you might see them down by like 5 or 10 points here or there, end of the game, they're up by 20.
Yeah, you blink and they're up by 20. That fast.
Like the good move is to always take the Aces at the halftime. Like if they're down by 10, go bet on the Aces to win the game because you're getting probably a plus something. You're gonna make some money off of it. Like just make it happen because
I agree. Like it's insane.
It's amazing. Anyways, guys, that's our show. It's been amazing. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to see your beautiful face. I feel like we haven't been hanging in for like a couple weeks. It feels like a year, but we'll be back again next week, you guys. We appreciate you. If you like the show, give it a like, give it a share on your social media, subscribe to our YouTube page, give us a like on Instagram and Twitter at Girl Chat Sports. We always have some fun stuff there. And if you're listening to the podcast, please go to YouTube, subscribe, because I feel like it's more enjoyable watching and seeing the videos and the pictures we share than it is just to listen. Sure. So we appreciate y'all. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Yep. See you all next week on the West